It's always fun to pick up on the various tropes and running gags that exist in Doctor Who. Quarries, running, rubber costumes, you know the ones. Even better is when the writers actually highlight them for our amusement, making everyone at home do that Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's pointing at the TV. So with that in mind, I'm Ellie with Who Culture here with 10 times Doctor Who knew exactly what you were thinking. Number 10. Laughing in the face of danger. One of the core appeals of Doctor Who is that its heroes can go anywhere they want, anytime they want. Land somewhere they don't like? Not a problem, just pop back in the TARDIS and fly away. Easy peasy. In various stories over the years, it certainly would have made sense if the Doctor had noped out rather than putting themselves and their companions in danger, but this never happens. The show must go on after all, and the characters can't just leave, even when they really should. Series 2's The Impossible Planet and the Satan Pit knew you were thinking this, and directly referenced it at the start of the first episode. The 10th Doctor and Rose Tyler land on a planet in the orbit of a black hole after some protest from the TARDIS. Rose mentions that if the TARDIS is giving off signals that it shouldn't be here, maybe they should both get back inside and leave. Before she can even finish that sentence, her and the Doctor burst out laughing. As well as being a wink and nudge to the nature of the show, this fits right in with both characters' personalities. And it's a really funny moment as well. Number 9. The Man Who Dies and Dies Again. For those not familiar with South Park, Kenny is a character who gets killed off and then brought back to life with little or no explanation constantly. Doctor Who has one of those characters too. His name is Rory Pond. Amy's beloved husband died or appeared to die countless times during his stint on the show. He was gassed by an alien pensioner, shot by a lizard, fell off a pirate ship and drowned, and turned into a dusty old corpse in one of House's twisted games. It became a running joke quite quickly, a running joke that the makers of the show were well aware of. In Night Terrors, Rory himself complains, "We're dead. Again," after him and Amy have a run-in with a dodgy elevator. In The Wedding of River Song, the Silents call him the Man Who Dies and Dies Again. And in The Angels Take Manhattan, Rory again pokes fun at his habit of resurrection while preparing to jump off a roof. Amy asks him if he's sure he'll survive, and he replies, "When don't I?" Not only does this fit the internal logic of the moment, it's also a laugh-out-loud joke to anyone aware of this ongoing trend. In a cruel twist of fate, this is the episode where the Ponds both get taken by the Angels, the one death Rory couldn't get himself out of. Oh, my heart just broke again. Number 8. All these corridors look the same to me. For the longest time, television was not the juggernaut that it is today. It was seen as a much lesser form of entertainment, something to keep the masses engaged on a Saturday night rather than to push the boundaries of the art. This meant that there was a lot less money in TV compared to the movies, and so cost-cutting measures were often more apparent. One amusing way this reared its head in Doctor Who was when characters would constantly run up and down the exact same corridors. This has been a running joke in the show for decades for a reason, and was parodied beautifully in The Curse of Fatal Death, and it got to the point where even the characters started pointing it out. On 2 separate occasions, once in Vengeance on Varos and once in Time Lash, 6th Doctor companion Perry laments, "All these corridors look the same to me," clearly having trudged up and down too many plain, nondescript hallways. Viewers at home were likely thinking the exact same thing, and if they looked the same, that's probably because they were. The God Complex would later use this trope to its advantage, making it a feature of the trippy 80s hotel our characters were trapped in. We saw what you did there, very cheeky. Number 7. It still doesn't work on wood. A Deus Ex Machina is a plot device that inexplicably solves a major issue in the story. In Doctor Who, it's called the sonic screwdriver. The sonic has dozens and dozens of different functions, such as locking and unlocking doors, burning rope, disarming weapons, and, oh look, tightening screws. It is a screwdriver after all. While most fans can look past this magic bullet, some are more annoyed when it gets trotted out to save the day time and time again. It does have one weakness though, an almighty foe that even the sonic can't overcome. It doesn't work on wood. This has been a running gag throughout the modern series, with the Doctor usually stating that they must tinker with the device to finally solve this recurring issue. It's a weakness that doesn't really make sense when you consider everything else that the sonic can do, and the 12th Doctor actually pointed this out in one of his final episodes. Empress of Mars finds him, Bill Potts and British soldier Colonel Godzacre imprisoned in the brig by the smarmy Captain Catchlove. While trying to escape the wooden door in front of him, the Doctor Doctor says, "There's no setting for wood. Why is there still no setting for wood?" Only you can answer that one, Doc. Number 6, an outrageous amount of running. The Doctor should really start evaluating his companions' health and fitness before allowing them on board the TARDIS, because they're going to spend a lot of time on the move. It's a popular meme in the Doctor Who community that our hero and their many friends are always running. Running from monsters, running to important locations, running back to the TARDIS to make an escape, running a bath, running for local office. Okay, maybe not those last ones. It's a quirk of the show that the writers know you're aware of. In Series 4's The Doctor's Daughter, Donna Noble even briefs Jenny on this fact while telling her all about her father and his adventures. He saves planets, rescues civilizations, defeats terrible creatures, and runs a lot. Seriously, there's an outrageous amount of running involved. Seconds later, and surprise, the Doctor instructs them both to run. So Donna really wasn't kidding, was she? Number 5, bulletproof baddies. If aliens really did show up on Earth, we'd all be buggered. Any species that could perfect intergalactic travel would be so much more advanced than us, and if they wanted to, they could probably crush humanity without a second thought. This is a problem Earth has faced countless times in the Doctor Who universe, with our feeble weaponry rarely proving a match for whichever monster is trying to invade on that particular day. Just ask UNIT. Armed with nothing more than metal pea shooters, this lot is expected to take out some of the deadliest forces in the galaxy. I mean, how is that fair? The Brigadier got mightily fed up of being ill-equipped in Season 12's Robot, when he moaned, "Just once I'd like to meet an alien menace that wasn't immune to bullets," while attempting to take down the K-1 robot. Many years later, Planet of the Dead gave a cheeky wink to viewers who remembered the Brigadier's classic line and UNIT's many struggles, when Captain Magumbo was pleasantly surprised that her weapon successfully defeated an armoured Stingray, saying, "I don't believe it, guns that work." Honestly, we didn't believe it either. Number 4, Clara's growth spurt. Actors come in all shapes and sizes, and sometimes the difference between two performers' statures can lead to on-set difficulties. Take 12th Doctor Peter Capaldi and his first companion Clara Oswald, portrayed by Jenna Coleman. Capaldi stands at a fairly impressive 6 feet tall, while Coleman tips the tape measure at just over 5 feet. With around 10 inches separating the two, it must have been difficult to fit them both in the frame at times. Coleman has admitted that she had to stand on a box in order to fit into certain shots, so if you ever notice that Clara's height fluctuated throughout her run, you aren't imagining things. Another solution was to deck the impossible girl out in high heels, as seen in the underrated Series 8 episode Time Heist. The Doctor directly mentions Clara's sudden growth spurt at the start of the episode, remarking, "Are you taller?" while she's getting ready for a date with Danny Pink. It's a fun nod to Coleman's vertical struggles, while also answering the inevitable fan questions of how Clara had suddenly gained a few inches. Number 3. Oh look, rocks! Doctor Who and quarries. Name a more iconic duo. The Whoniverse is full of tropes that are beloved and bemoaned in equal measure. Fake-looking rubbery costumes, Sarah Jane getting hypnotised all the time, hammy acting. However, the best one has to be the insane amount of alien quarries the Doctor has visited over the years. It's an easy way for the show to depict another world without completely breaking the bank, and it's something that very quickly became a running joke. The Season 17 serial Destiny of the Daleks made a hilarious nod to this trend when the 4th Doctor and companion Romana land on a new planet. A panel in the TARDIS opens up, revealing a rocky cliff face. Viewers were likely rolling their eyes at the sight of yet another stony setting, and the writers were well aware of this, as the Doctor, with all the subtlety of a burning house, quickly remarks, "Oh look, rocks!" The fact that the Doctor almost seems happy to see these rocks is what makes this joke work so well. It's an acknowledgement of that low-budget charm that makes Doctor Who so special. Number 2. He always says that. The Day of the Doctor celebrated 50 years of the show's existence by bringing back Tom Baker and David Tennant alongside John Hurt as a new incarnation of the Time Lord and current Doctor Matt Smith, and Peter Capaldi's eyebrows. This was the first time Tennant had played the 10th Doctor in 3 years, which was a real treat. Then, just as we were all happy with his return, Stephen Moffat decided to remind us of one of the most traumatic moments in Who history. The 10th Doctor's final words before he regenerated were famously, "I don't want to go." Considering that most fans didn't want him to go either, this hit real hard. Moffat had Tennant repeat that phrase at the end of The Day of the Doctor, while talking about his own grave on Trenzalore. It's a moment with all the subtlety of an Absorbaloff running down the street, and Moffat knew it, since he followed up Ten's line with a direct wink to the fans at home. Without missing a beat, the 11th Doctor quips, "He always says that." Shots fired? Damn 11! You are ice cold! Number 1. Doctor Who. The amount of times Doctor Who writers have got the name of the show into a script is getting ridiculous at this point. It's not hard to see why so many of the uninitiated think the character's actual name is Doctor Who, because that phrase gets wheeled out over and over and over again. Every era of Who has had several jokes where someone will ask the Doctor what their name is. The Doctor will reply, "The Doctor," only to be met with the response, "Doctor Who," or "Doctor what?" These moments are usually played up in some way, a prominent musical cue, a reaction shot, with the writers fully aware that the fans at home are probably grinning to themselves at the meta nature of the line. The most unabashed, self-aware instance of this happens in The Bells of St. John, when the Doctor meets Clara Oswald for the first time, and she asks that fated question. The 11th Doctor asks her to say it a few more times, and even does a little dance before saying, "I never realised how much I enjoy hearing that said out loud." That, folks, is the sound of a writer who knows their audience. And that concludes our list. If you think we missed another really obvious example, then please do let us know in the comments down below. And while you're there, don't forget to like and subscribe and tap that notification bell so you never miss a Who Culture video ever again. Also, head over to Twitter, Instagram and TikTok to follow us there. I can be found across all those social medias as well just by searching Ellie Littlechild. I've been Ellie with Who Culture, and in the words of Riversong herself, goodbye, sweeties.